There's one. I think I just got eaten. Yeah. There we go. And there it is. I don't know if I can. Oh. All right, what's going on, y'all? It's Corey. It's 10 a.m., low tide, and already about like 85 degrees. It's gonna be a warm day, but I'm gonna push through it. It's a good tide. I just filled up on tons of shrimp. Let me show y'all. Here I've got a little aerator in my Ingles cooler, and it just, look, they're already jumping out. Whoops, I gotta shut the lid. I just created a problem. Right now, this water is hot. I've got a little bit of ice. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of ice in there. I don't wanna give them a shock, but I want to cool it so that they stay alive for longer. Aerator, I'm gonna put this on my kayak and hopefully have live shrimp for the rest of the day. Here's the main thing I'm going to be throwing. This very light spinning rod with a Shimano Vanford and a St. Croix medium light fast action 7-foot rod. This is just a very small jig head. It's a trout eye 1/8 ounce jig head, and I'm going to put the shrimp on this. This is mainly what I'm going to be throwing here at low tide because I just want to be kind of finesse, and it's only a foot or two deep where I'm going to be fishing anyways for these redfish, so there's no reason to do much more. All right, and here's my other rig. This here is just a little heavier rod, and then this is a cork that I have tied straight onto my 20-pound braid cork, 20-pound fluorocarbon to a, I think it's a 2-aught, either 2 or 3-aught circle hook, owner circle hook. I'm gonna be using this a little higher in the tide cycle where there's some depth and some current flow. I'll be drifting this along the grass, just over the oysters, things like that. That's really when this is gonna come into effect a little bit more. It's fresh shrimp. In my opinion, it's the best bait out there if you can find it. There's no absolutes, but every charter captain is gonna have a ton of floats and a ton of live shrimp if they can help it. So here we go, we're gonna target some redfish. Right here on the horn, just underneath it. Toss it right in here, let it sit. Oop, there's a hit. Got one. All right, there's my first redfish. This is a little tiny thing. Just tiny thing chewing on the shrimp. Now I'm fishing this peninsula off here that kind of jets out into the current on this incoming tide. And these redfish, and frankly, everything's kind of staging here right now because there's bait and it's a perfect drop off. The drop off's on either side and current coming over it. Perfect place for this low incoming tide. Yeah, what is that? Feels like a good flounder. It's really staying down. Might be a redfish. Oh yeah, it's a redfish. Maybe I will net it. So much easier to just net one of these fish. Look at that nice redfish. These shrimp here are amazing baits. Problem is, they get eaten off very quickly. Stuff is just right away hitting me and taking my bait. Looks like a bunch of trout out here, probably. All right, guys, starting to catch some sea trout now. I got a bunch of hits. Finally just landed this one on the shrimp. A little deeper, more current. Okay. Already getting hits. There's one. Look at that. These trout love this shrimp. Look at this guy, the bigger one. That's worth netting and take a picture of. All right, here's a nice trout. Check it out. The fish are all around me just hitting. I could even go top water, but I've got all this shrimp and it's so rare that I use live bait. So I'm just gonna take advantage of it and see how many and how big I can catch of these guys. Here's another shrimp, let's time it. All right, just cast it. Just got on the water in a good spot. I'm gonna count 1, 2. Put some tension on the line, let it sink. Very light jig head, probably around 5, 6. Feeling pecks. 7, 8. I'm not counting all that well, but I'm probably around 10 seconds or 11. And there it is. That's a good one. It's a big ladyfish. It's a ladyfish, so athletic. Oh my gosh. These things are like, we call these poor man tarpon. They're fun. Look at it. It's a good one. Look at that. A very light rod. Probably more fun than a redfish that size, that's for sure. Look at the big eye on that thing. Right at 21 inches. It's pretty respectable ladyfish here. So, very cool. I'm gonna send it back. All right, guys. As I mentioned before, I was gonna have 2 rigs out here. This is gonna be my floater rig. I've got some depth where I'm fishing. I'm losing a lot of fish. So I'm gonna switch to this because it's got that circle hook. Oh, there we go. That didn't take long. Check it out. I've already got, whoa, another ladyfish. Those things are crazy. So the big secret with the circle hooks is to just reel down on the fish and let it hook itself. If you set the hook, it's basically just gonna pop itself out of the mouth. It does have rattle and kind of attracts fish. It sounds like fish baiting, it sounds like bait jumping and scattering and maybe a predator fish eating. So what you do is you want a little bit of slack in your line, and you're gonna have your wrist kind of angled at it with some slack, and then you're gonna go like that. You want the cork to pretty much go horizontal, make that sound, and then go back vertical again before you hit it again. Sometimes I space it out even more, and then I'll give it another pop, just like that. All right, I'm already getting hit. You see my cork right out there. Oh, there we go. Doesn't not feel big. It is not. That is bait. So that right there is a pinfish. I'm actually gonna use that as bait for later. There we go, that's a hit. I've got a fish on. Give it a little resistance, barely. Still feel it. Reel it in. Man, there are so many baby. Well, that's actually croaker. You guys want to hear it croak? You hear that? It's good bait, but I have plenty. There we go. Let's see what that is. It's trout. Oh no, that was a tiny redfish is what that was. So this is a perfect scenario right now. Current's coming towards me, the wind is coming towards me. You can see right here, there's like a peninsula of oyster that jets out. So on this side, my side, the fish should be staged facing away. So what I need to do is go here where there's a little bit more depth. I cast over the oyster or at it, and then I'm gonna let my bait, I might get hit on that side because it's a little deeper, but I'm gonna let my bait drift this way. I'm already on. Yep. I don't know what that is, something small. Tons of small stuff out here. Pufferfish. Jeez. All right, guys, check it out. This right here is pufferfish. Now, it's not blowing up. I don't know why it's not scared of me, but they're safe to handle, and I'm gonna throw it back. I'm catching just about everything right now. I should have shown you that has really cool teeth. They're like cookie cutter teeth. Here I'm approaching what is like a little bit of a mud flat in there, and the water's starting, tide's going up and they're starting to go in. So this is an opportunity for redfish to go in there and feed heavily on the bait and shrimp and everything else that's in there. But they'll stage on lower tide right out here, right at the mouth of it, and then there'll be a channel that goes in. This gives me an opportunity to really target them, my chance to get into that channel a little bit. But there should be some flounder, should be some redfish. All right, so no real luck right now at this inlet. So what my plan is to do is to fish the mouth of this now, going in. Wow, look at those redfish up there. Dang, knew they were in there. They're way up in there. That's crazy. I gotta launch the drone on those guys. They are shallow. All right, guys, I've been at the mouth of this little creek and I knew that there was fish in here, and I just saw the craziest, coolest explosion of a couple redfish, really shallow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna launch my drone, and then I'm gonna sneak in there as quietly as I can, and then I'm gonna use my paddle as much as I can. And I've got a drone from above watching them. It's kind of showing me where they are. If I can get over there, I don't know if I can. You see that flounder come out of the water, guys? That was so cool. Unreal. I love these shallows. I can't even fit my kayak through here right now. I think the path was over there. But these fish are in here thick. This thing. I just flew the drone for a while. I got really cool footage of these redfish just going up into the creek, splashing and swirling all around me, but I can't get them to eat, so I'm gonna try a couple different things. Get another rod out with another shrimp, just try my chances there, and just be patient here because the redfish and the flounder are here for sure. You, that's not cool. Ouch. I'll go back to this paddle tail because I think they're chasing the minnows in here, but also it gives me ability to cast around a lot more and not be stationary. There we go. Oh yeah, it's a bigger fish than it looks like right now. It's not run yet. There it is. Oh no, it came off. Dang, that was definitely an overslot fish right there. Oh. Just in case you guys are curious about how deep the water is right now that I'm hunting in, it's about the depth of my paddle on average. There we go. Baby red, okay. Not what I'm looking for, but they're definitely in here too. Little guys. All right guys, I moved out of there. There was a lot of water getting in there in that flat and really spraying the fish out. So right now I'm going back to the main channel. You know, I'm gonna hit the banks where there still should be some fish. Trout are vicious. Little guy. The second I cast that out there, I was on it. Grunting like crazy. Always been big trout right here. Oh, that was a hit. Got something. No. Yep. Yep. Another ladyfish. I've never caught so many ladyfish. That one's a small one. Guys are gonna say, that's great tarpon bait. That's great snook bait. Well, we don't really have either of those here. I think I just got eaten. Yeah. Listen to that. Go. Oh, slack. There's a bigger redfish right here. Look at that. Oh, yeah. It's an overslot red, I think. About time we get a big red on this trip. Keeping tension on my right hand and reeling it in with my left hand, my passive bait. We'll reel it all the way so it's out of the water and out of the way. And I'm gonna land this fish. It's a big one. Oh yeah, got my net in the ready position. That's what we were looking for, guys. It's a stud redfish. Look at that fish, guys. That is exactly what we're here for. Just this beautiful orange, gold redfish. I got you. There it is. No problem. All right, I've been keeping this fish here in the water a little bit. It's right here. Kind of just trolling it around a little bit. You see it down there? That sweet fish right there. Nice and gold. And we'll release them. Sitting there. Here she goes. Nice and healthy. All right, let me just tell you why this redfish was here and what he was doing. All right, so the current is moving really fast all across the shoreline. It's all moving from right to left, and it's also hard bottom. Now, it wasn't here in the current. It was right here where it kind of transitions from slower water to faster water. But what's happening is the current is pushing up against the bank. It's pushing bait and all that stuff. So all he has to do is sit right here against the bank, face out and a little bit to the right, and the current is just sweeping bait right into his face, and that's where he was laying, just like this. And there might be another one there, but it's a really good spot for him to be. All right, I'm gonna sink this jig head and shrimp right around these deeper docks here. I think there's gonna be some trout lurking around. All right, another trout. Bye. There we go. Another trout. No, that's another croaker. All right, guys, I hope I've showed you a little bit of just how successful and how great shrimp is as a bait. Everything out here is eating it, and it's super plentiful, especially in the summertime. If you can get out here at low tide, hit some of these shorelines that are kind of gradual and muddy, you'll be able to find them, and you'll be able to find them thick, and the fish are eating on them. It's hard to even compete without it sometimes. But you'll find also that if you go on a charter boat here inshore, most of the time they're gonna have all rigged up is these popping cork rigs and shrimp. They're gonna be throwing shrimp if they have it, if not mud minnows and things like that, that are just easy for everybody to use, and they just outright flat catch fish. You know, I don't know if everybody realizes I spend so much time editing and getting my video ready and out here videoing instead of fishing. If you're learning something and you're getting something out of my videos, please help me out either with that thanks button at the very bottom or just by liking and subscribing and commenting on the video. Thanks a bunch for being out here. Make sure you check out my last video right up here where I was in Folly Beach and I just hammered some big flounder and just about everything else. I'll see you there.